Ismene, dear heart, my true sister. You and I are left alive to pay the final penalty to Zeus for Oedipus. I've never seen such misery and madness, it's monstrous. Such deep shame and dishonor as this which falls upon the pair of us. And now a public announcement. They say the general has plastered it around the city. Have you heard this terrible news or not? Our enemies are on the march to hurt our friends.
No, Antigone, I've had no news of friends. Nothing sweet or painful since the day we lost our brothers. Both of us on one day. Both brothers dead by their two hands. Last night, the army that came from Argos disappeared, and after that, I don't know anything that could bring me happiness or despair.
I knew it. That's the whole reason I called you outside. To hear the news alone.
Tell me, you're as clear as a fog at sea.
It's the burial of our two brothers. Creon promotes one of them and shames the other. Eteocles, I heard Creon covered beneath the earth with proper rites, as law ordains, so he has honor down among the dead. But Polynices' miserable corpse. They say Creon has proclaimed to everyone, no burial of any kind. No wailing, no public tears. Give him to the vultures, unwept, unburied, to be a sweet treasure for their sharp eyes and beaks. That is what they say the good Creon has proclaimed to you, and me. He forbids me too. And now he's strutting here to make it plain to those who haven't heard he takes this seriously, that if anyone does what he forbids, he'll have him publicly stoned to death. There's your news. Now show your colors. Are you true to your birth or a coward?
You take things hard. If we are in this noose, what could I do to loosen or pull tight the knot?
If you share the work and trouble.
In what dangerous adventure?
If you help this hand raise the corpse.
Do you mean to bury him against the city's ordinance?
But he is mine and yours. Like it or not, he's our brother. They'll never catch me betraying him.
How horrible! When Creon forbids it?
He has no right to keep me from my own.
Oh no. Think carefully, my sister. Our father died in hatred and disgrace after gouging out his own two eyes for sins he'd seen in his own self. Next, his mother and wife, she was both, destroyed herself in a knotted rope. And third, our two brothers on one day killed each other in the terrible calamity which they had created for each other. Now think about the two of us. We are alone. How horrible it would be to die outside the law if we violate a dictator's decree. No, we have to keep this fact in mind. We are women. We do not fight with men. We are subject to them because they are stronger, and we must obey this order even if it hurts us more. As for me, I will say to those beneath the earth this prayer. Forgive me, I am held back by force. And I will obey the men in charge. My mind will never aim too high, too far.
I won't press you any further. I wouldn't let you help me if you had a change of heart. Go on, be the way you choose to be. I will bury him. I will have a noble death and lie with him, a dear sister with a dear brother. Call it a crime of reverence, but I must be good to those who are below. I will be there longer than with you. That is where I will lie. You keep to your choice. Go on insulting what the gods hold dear.
I am not insulting anyone. By my very nature, I cannot possibly take arms against the city.
Go on, make excuses. I am on my way. I will heap the earth upon my dearest brother's grave.
Oh no, this is horrible for you. I'm so worried.
Don't worry about me. Put your own life straight.
Please don't tell a soul what you are doing. Keep it hidden. I'll do the same.
For God's sake, speak out. You'll be more enemy to me if you are silent. Proclaim it to the world.
Your heart's so hot to do this chilling thing.
But it pleases those who matter most.
Yes, if you had the power. But you love the impossible.
So, when my strength is gone, I'll stop.
But it's the highest wrong to chase after what's impossible.
When you say this, you set yourself against me. Your brother will take you to him as his enemy. So you just let me and my bad judgment go to hell. Nothing could happen to me that's half as bad as dying a coward's death.
Then follow your judgment. Go. You've lost your mind, but you are clinging to the love of your loved ones.
tribes roused against our land for a fight that Polynices haggling picked. And like a screaming eagle, he dropped on our land, the shadow of his white snow wing, a multitude of armored men, helmets crested with horsehair.
He stooped over our homes, mouth gaping wide for the kill. He engulfed our 7 gates with spears of death. But he has gone before plunging his beak in our blood, gone before torching our crown of towers with the flames of Hephaestus. For behind his back there arose too loud the clamor of war. His dragon foe was too strong for him.
7 captains at 7 gates, matched with 7 defenders, all left trophies for Zeus, the protector. They took off their armor and ran, except for a savage pair, full brothers. Their 2 spears stand upright, conquering, each in the other's dead breast.
Oh, victory is ours, great be her name. Now Thebes rejoices, therefore let us forget our pain. The war is over, let us dance all night. Fill all the sacred precincts with joy. We must now be ruled by Bacchus, dance master of Thebes.
Here is the king of our land, Creon, the son of Menecius, our new ruler given us by chance and the gods. What plan has he been churning over on his way? Why has he summoned us, the council of elders, by public announcement?
People! The city is safe again! We may thank the gods. After a great upheaval, they have rescued Thebes. You are here because I chose you from the whole crowd and summoned you by escort. You always showed respect for Laius' power when he held the throne, and the same again for Oedipus when he rescued Thebes. After he died, I know you stood by their sons. You were always there with good advice. Now they are dead, both on one day. Each stabbed the other and was stabbed. Brother struck brother, and the blows were cursed. So now the throne and all the power in Thebes are mine, because I am closest kin to those who died. No man has a mind that can fully be known in character or judgment till he rules and makes law. Only then can he be tested in the public eye. I believe that if anyone tries to run a city on the basis of bad policies and holds his tongue because he's afraid to say what's right, that man is terrible. So I have always thought. But it's even worse when he plays favorites, puts family and friends ahead of fatherland. As for me, I call witness to all-seeing Zeus. I will never hold my tongue about what I see when ruin is afoot or the city is not safe. I will never call a man my friend if he is hostile to this land. I know this well. The city is our lifeboat. We have no friends at all unless we keep her sailing right side up. Such are my laws, and by them I'll raise this city high. And I have just announced a twin sister of those laws. To all citizens concerning Oedipus' sons. Eteocles fought for this city, and for it he died. After every feat of heroism with his spear, he shall be sanctified with every burial rite that is given to the most heroic dead below. As for his blood brother, Polynices by name, he broke his exile, he came back hungry for our blood, he wanted to burn his fatherland and family gods down from the top. He wanted to lead his people into slavery. This man will have no grave. It is forbidden to offer any funeral rites. No one in Thebes may bury him or mourn for him. He must be left unburied, and may birds and dogs feed on his limbs as a spectacle of utter shame. Such is the character of my mind. Never, while I rule, will a criminal be honored by higher than a man of justice. But give me a true friend of this city, and I will pay him in full honor, in death or life.
That is your decision, son of Menecius, as to the one who meant our city well and the one who meant it ill. It's up to you. Make any law you want, for the dead or for us who live.
Now look after my commands, I insist. And I already have men watching the corpse.
And what is left for us to do? What are your orders?
That you do not side with anyone who disobeys.
No one is foolish enough to ask for death.
Right. That would be their reward. But hope and bribery have often led men to destruction.
Sir, I'm here. I can't say I'm out of breath. I haven't exactly been running on my feet. I halted many times along the road so I could think, and I almost turned around and marched right back. My mind kept talking to me. It said, "You poor guy, why are you going there? You'll just get your ass kicked." Then it said, "Are you stopping again, you damn fool? If Creon hears this from another man, he'll give you hell." Well, I turned this idea up and down like that, and I hurried along, real slow, made a short trip long. What got me here in the end was this, my report. It doesn't amount to much, but I won't let go of this handful of hope that things won't be any worse than they have to be.
What is it, man? Where's your courage?
First, I want to tell you where I stand. I did not do this thing, and I don't know who did, and it wouldn't be fair if I got hurt.
All right. Your defense perimeter is up. Now let's have your report.
Well, it's terrible news. I can't come right out with that.
Speak up and then get lost.
Okay, here it is. The body out there, someone buried it just now and went away. They spread thirsty dust with their hands and did the ceremony in full.
What? No man would dare. Who did it?
I don't know. The ground was so hard and dry it showed no marks. There was no spade scratches, no pickaxe holes, not even chariot roots. The perpetrator had not left a single clue. When the first day watchman showed it to us, we were all amazed. It was incredible. The guy had vanished. There was no tomb, only fine dust lying all over the body, enough to take the curse away. No sign of wild animals, no dogs sniffing or tugging at the corpse. We burst out shouting at each other. Everyone was hurling accusations. We kept coming to blows, no one to stop us. Any one of us could have done the thing. No one caught red-handed. Everyone pled ignorance. We were about to test each other on red-hot iron or run our hands through fire and swear by all the gods. I didn't do it. I had no part in any plot to do it. Not with anyone else, not by hand or word. Well, we weren't getting anywhere. And in the end, someone told us to do something that we could not see how to refuse or accept. So we dropped heads and stared at the ground in fear. We knew it wouldn't turn out good for us. We simply had to bring word to you because we could not hide a thing like this. We voted to do it, and I'm so damned unlucky. I won the lottery to have this lovely job. I didn't want to come, and you certainly didn't want to see me. No one loves a man who brings bad news.
You know, sir, as soon as I heard it came to me, somehow the gods are behind this piece of work.
Up, right there, before I am gorged with rage! Ah! You want to prove that you are stupid as you are old? It is totally unacceptable what you've said about the gods, that they can have a caring thought for this man's corpse. You think they buried him for his good deeds? To give him highest honor? They know that he came with fire to burn down their fine columned shrines, their land, their store of treasure, to blow their laws away. Have you ever seen a criminal honored by the gods? Not possible. But some men here have always champed like serf against my orders and obeyed me, if at all, without cheer. They are the ones, I'm absolutely sure, who used bribes to lead our watchmen astray into this crime. Money is the nastiest weed to ever sprout in human soil. Money will ravage a city, tear men from their homes, and send them into exile. Money teaches good minds to go bad. It is the source of every shameful human deed. Money points the way to wickedness. It lets people know their full range of irreverence. But those who have committed this crime for hire have set themselves a penalty, which in time they'll pay. Now listen here, so long as I am reverent with Zeus, I am under oath, and you can be absolutely sure that if you do not find the hand behind this burial and bring him so I can see him with my own eyes. Death alone will not be good enough for you. Not until I have stretched you out with rope and you confess to this outrageous crime. That'll teach you where to look to make a profit, and you will learn. Never accept money from just anyone who comes along. Those who take from a source that is wicked, you'll see, are ruined far more often than saved.
Permission to speak, sir? Or about face and go?
Don't you see how badly your report annoyed me?
So where's it hurting you? On your ears or in your mind?
What's it to you? Why should you analyze my pain?
If it hurts your mind, blame the perpetrator. If it's only your ears, blame me.
Damn it, man, will you never stop babbling?
Well, at least I never did the thing.
Yes, you did. And for money, you gave up your life.
Oh, no, it's terrible when false judgment guides the judge.
All right, play with the word judgment. But you'd better catch the man behind this burial, or I'll have proof that you men ruined your miserable lives to make a profit.
We'll find him. You better believe it. But if we don't, if he gets lucky, no way you'll ever see me coming back to you again. As it is, this has gone better than I expected. I'm still alive, thanks be to the gods.
Many wonders, many terrors, but none more wonderful than the human race.
Or more dangerous.
This creature travels on a winter gale across the silver sea, shadowed by high surging waves.
While on earth, grandest of the gods, he grinds the deathless, tireless land away, turning and turning the plow from year to year behind driven horses.
Light-headed birds he catches and takes them away in legions.
Wild beasts also fall prey to him.
And all that is born to live beneath the sea is thrashing in his woven nets.
For he is
Man, and he is cunning.
He has invented ways to take control of beasts that range mountain meadows.
Taken down the shaggy-necked horses, the tireless mountain bulls, and put them under the yoke.
Language, and a mind swift as the wind for making plans. These he has taught himself.
And the character to live in cities under law.
He has learned to take cover from a frost and escape sharp arrows of sleet.
He has the means to handle every need, never steps toward the future without the means.
Except for death. He's got himself no relief from that.
Though he puts every mind to seeking cures for plagues that are hopeless.
He has cunning contrivance, skill surpassing hope.
And so he slithers into wickedness sometimes.
Other times into doing good.
If he honors the law of the land and the oath-bound justice of the gods, then his city shall stand high. But no city for him if he turns shameless out of daring.
He will be no guest of mine. He will never share my thoughts if he goes wrong.
He honors the law of the land and the oath-bound justice of the gods, then his city shall stand high. But no city for him if he turns shameless out of daring. He will be no guest of mine. He will never share my thoughts if he goes wrong. If he honors the law of the land and the oath-bound justice of the gods, then his city shall stand high. But no city for him if he turns shameless out of daring.
He will be no guest of mine. He will never share my thoughts if he goes wrong.
Monstrous! What does this mean?
Are gods behind it? I don't know what to think.
Isn't this Antigone? I can't deny it.
You miserable child of misery, daughter of Oedipus, what have you done? Is it you they arrested? Are you so foolish, so disloyal to the laws of kings?
Yes, she's the one that did the burial. We caught her in the act.
What's all this? Lucky I turned up now.
Sir, there's no point in swearing oaths if you're immortal. I swore I'd never come to you again because those threats of yours gave me the shakes. I've come, though I swore on oath I wouldn't, and I brought this girl, arrested her at the grave while she was tidying it up. No lottery this time. The windfall is all mine and no one else's. Now it's up to you. Take her, question her, make your judgment. As for me, the right thing is to let me off scot-free.
Circumstances under which you've arrested her. And location?
She was burying the man. Now you know it all.
Do you honestly know what you're saying?
She was burying the dead body. The one you put off limits? Clear enough for you?
How did you see this? Caught her in the act?
It was like this. We went back to the body after all your terrible threats, and we brushed up the dust that covered it, so as to make the rotting corpse properly naked. Then we settled down on the hill, upwind so the stink wouldn't hit us. We kept awake by yelling insults at each other when a slacker nodded off. That went on for a long time, till the sun stood bright in the center of the sky, and we were really getting cooked. Then, suddenly, a tornado struck. It raised dust all over the plain, grief to high heaven. It thrashed the low-lying woods with terror and filled the whole wide sky. We shut our eyes and held out against this plague from the gods. After a long while it lifted. That's when we saw the girl. She gave a shrill cry like a bird when she sees her nest empty and her bed deserted where her nestlings had lain. That was how she was when she saw the corpse. She cried out in mourning and called down curses on whoever had done this thing. Right away, she spread thirsty dust with her hands and poured the 3 libations from a vessel of fine bronze. And so she crowned the corpse with honor. As soon as we spotted her, we started to run. She showed no fear. It was easy to catch her. Then we questioned her about her past and present actions. She did not deny a single thing. For me, that was sweet. And agonizing too. It's a great joy to be out of trouble, but bringing trouble on your friends is agony. Still, I don't mind it so much. It's nature's way for me to put my own survival first.
You there, with your head bowed to the ground. Are you guilty? Or do you deny that you did this thing?
Of course not. I did it. I won't deny anything.
You are dismissed. Take yourself where you please. You're a free man, no serious charge against you. As for you, tell me in brief, not at length, did you know this had been forbidden?
I knew. I couldn't help knowing it was everywhere.
And yet you dared to violate these laws?
What laws? I never heard it was Zeus who made that announcement. And it wasn't justice either. The gods below didn't lay down that law for human use. And I never thought that your announcements could give you, a mere human being, power to trample the gods' unfailing, unwritten laws. These laws weren't made now or yesterday. They live for all time, and no one knows when they came into the light. No man could frighten me into taking on the gods' penalty for breaking such a law. I'll die in any case, of course I will, whether you announce my execution or not. But if I die young, all the better. People who live in misery like mine are better dead. So if that's the way my life will end, then the pain is nothing. But if I let the corpse, my mother's son, lie dead, unburied, that would be agony. This way, no agony for me. But you? You think I've been a fool. It takes a fool to think that.
Now we see the girl's as wild by birth as her father. She has no idea how to bow her head to trouble.
Don't forget, the mind that is most rigid stumbles soonest. The hardest iron tempered in fire till it is super strong shatters easily and clatters into shards. And you can surely break the wildest horse with a tiny bridle. When the master's watching, pride has no place in the life of a slave. This girl was a complete expert in arrogance already when she broke the established law. And now, arrogantly, she adds insult to injury. She's boasting and sneering about what she's done. Listen, if she is not punished for taking the upper hand, then I am not a man. She would be a man. I don't care if she's my sister's child, or closer yet, at my household shrine for Zeus. She and her sister must pay full price and die for their crimes. Yes, I say they have equal guilt, conniving with one another for this burial. Bring her out. I saw her in there a minute ago. She was raving mad, totally out of her mind. Often it's the feelings of a thief that give him away before the crimes he did in darkness come to light. But how I hate it when she's caught in the act and the criminal still glories in her crime.
You've caught me. You can kill me. What more do you want?
From me, that's everything. I want no more than that.
Then what are you waiting for? More talk? Your words disgust me, and I'm sure you are disgusted by what I say. And yet, speaking of glory, what could be more glorious than giving my true brother his burial? All these people would tell you they're rejoicing in that if you hadn't locked their tongues with fear. But a tyrant says and does what he pleases. That's his great joy.
You are the only one in all Thebes who thinks this way.
No! They all see it the same. You've silenced them.
Aren't you ashamed to have a mind apart from theirs?
There's no shame in having respect for a brother.
Wasn't he your brother too? The one who died on the other side?
Yes, my blood brother. Same mother, same father.
When you honor one, you disgrace the other. Why do it?
The dead will never testify against a burial.
Yes, if they were equal, but one of them deserves disgrace.
He wasn't any kind of slave. He was his brother who died.
He was killing and plundering. The other one defended our land.
Even so, Hades longs to have these laws obeyed.
But surely not equal treatment for good and bad.
Who knows? Down below, that might be blessed.
An enemy is always an enemy, even in death.
I cannot side with hatred. My nature sides with love.
Go to Hades then! And if you must love, love someone dead! As long as I live, I will not be ruled by a woman.
Now Ismene stands before the doors and sheds tears of sister love. From her brows, a blood-dark cloud casts a foul shadow and stains her lovely face.
Now you, hiding in my house like a snake, a coiled bloodsucker in the dark. And I never realized that I was raising a pair of deadly, crazed revolutionaries. Come, tell me, how do you plead? Guilty of this burial as an accomplice? Or do you swear you knew nothing?
I did it. I confess. That is, if we are partners anyway. I am an accomplice and I bear responsibility with her.
I will not permit this penalty to fall on you. No, I never wanted to give you a share.
But these are your troubles. I'm not ashamed. I'll be your shipmate in suffering.
I have witnesses. The gods below saw who did the work. I won't accept a friend who's only friends with words.
No, please. You're my sister. Don't despise me. Let me die with you and sanctify our dead.
No, you may not die along with me. Don't say you did it. You wouldn't even touch it. Now leave my death alone.
Why would I care to live when you are gone?
Creon's the one to ask. He's the one you care for.
Why are you scolding me? It won't help you.
Of course not. It hurts me when my mockery strikes you.
But I still want to help you. What can I do?
Escape! Save yourself! I don't begrudge you that.
Oh, misery! Why am I cut off from your fate?
Because you chose life, and I chose death.
But I give you reasons not to make that choice.
Oh, yes, you are sensible. These people agree. But they agree with me.
Yes, I know. And now the sin is mine as much as yours.
Be brave. You are alive. Already my soul is dead. It's gone to help those who died before me.
What a pair of children. One of you lost her mind moments ago, and the other was born without hers.
That is right, sir. Whenever we commit a crime, our minds, which grew by nature, leave us.
Yours did, when you deliberately joined a criminal in crime.
Without her, why should I live? I'd be alone.
Her? Don't speak of her. She is no more.
But will he really kill the bride of your son?
There's other ground for him to plow, you know.
But no one is suited to him as well as she is.
I loathe bad women. She's not for my son.
Oh, Haman, dearest, what a disgrace your father does to you.
Shut up! What a pain you are, you and your marriage.
Will he really take away your son's bride?
Not me. Death will put a stop to this marriage.
So she will die. Has it really been decided?
Yes, by you and me. No more delays. Servant, take them inside. They are women and they must not be free to roam about. Even a brave man flees from death when he sees his life in immediate danger.
Happy are they that never taste of crime. But once a house is shaken by the gods, then madness stalks the family without fail, disaster for many generations. It is like a great salt wave, kicked up by foul winds from Thrace. It surges over the hellish depths of the sea, roils the bottom, churns up black sand, and makes the screaming headlands howl against the gale.
I see grief falling from old days on Labdacus' family, new grief heaped on the grief of those who died, and nothing redeems the generation that is to come. Some god is battering them without relief. Now I see a saving light, rising from the sole remaining roots of the house of Oedipus, but this too falls in bloody harvest, claimed by the dust of the underworld gods, doomed by foolish words and frenzied wits.
O Zeus, who could ever curtail thy power? Not a man, never, no matter how far he oversteps his bounds. Not sleep that weakens everyone, not the untiring months of gods. No, Zeus, you do not grow weak with time, you who hold power in the luminous glow of Olympus. And this will be the law, now and for time to come as it was before. Madness stalks mortals who are great, leaves no escape from disaster. Beware of hope.
Far-reaching,
Beguiling.
A pleasure.
For
a lot of men.
But a lot are fooled by a light-headed love.
And deception stalks those who know nothing.
Until they set their feet in fire and burn.
Wisdom lies in the famous proverb.
Those who judge that crime is good are in the hands of a driving god who is leading them to madness.
Time is very short for them, leaves no escape from disaster.
Dearest Haman, the last of your children, is he goaded here by anguish for Antigone, who should have been his bride? Does he feel injured beyond measure, cheated out of marriage?
We'll know the answer right away, better than prophets. Tell me, son, did you hear the final verdict against your fiancé? Did you come in anger at your father? Or are we still friends no matter what I do?
I am yours, father. You set me straight, give me good advice, and I will follow it. No merit will weigh more with me than your good opinion.
Splendid, my boy! Keep that always in your heart, and stand behind fatherly advice on all counts. Now then, my boy, don't let pleasure cloud your mind, not because of a woman. I'd rather have a bleeding wound than a criminal in the family. So spit her out, and because this girl's against us, send her down to marry somebody in Hades. You know, I caught her in the sight of all, alone of all our people in open revolt, and I will make my word good in Thebes by killing her. Who cares if she sings Zeus and calls him her protector? I must keep my kin in line, otherwise folks outside the family will run wild. The public knows that a man is just only if he is straight with his relatives. So if someone goes too far and breaks the law, or tries to tell their masters what to do, they will have nothing but contempt from me. But when the city takes a leader, you must obey, whether his commands are trivial, or right, or wrong. And I have no doubt that such a man will rule well. And later, he will cheerfully be ruled by someone else. In hard times, he will stand firm with his spear, waiting for orders, a good, law-abiding soldier. But reject one man ruling another, and that is the worst. Anarchy tears up a city, divides a home, and defeats an alliance of spears. But when people stay in line and obey, their lives and everything else are safe. For this reason, order must be maintained, and there must be no surrender to a woman. No, if we fall, better men should take us down. Never say that a woman bested us.
Unless old age has stolen my wits away, your speech was very wise. That's my belief.
Father, the gods give good sense to every human being, and that is absolutely the best thing we have. But if what you said is not correct, I don't know how I could make the point. Still, perhaps someone else could work it out. My natural duty is to look out for you, spot any risk that someone might find fault with what you say or do. The common man, you see, lives in terror of your frown. He'll never dare speak in broad daylight and say anything you would hate to learn. But I'm the one who hears what's said at night. How the entire city is grieving over this girl. No woman has ever had a fate that's so unfair, they say, when what she did deserves honor and fame. She saved her very own brother after he died murderously from being devoured by flesh-eating dogs and pecked apart by vultures as he lay unburied. For this, hasn't she earned glory bright as gold? This sort of talk moves against you quietly at night. And for me, Father, your continued good fortune is the greatest reward I could ever have. No child could win a better prize than his father's fame. No father could want more than abundant success from his son. And now, don't always cling with the same anger. Don't keep saying that this and nothing else is right. If a man believes that he alone has a sound mind and no one else can speak or think as well as he does, then when people study him, they'll find an empty book. But a wise man can learn a lot and never be ashamed. He knows he's not to be so rigid and close-hauled. You've seen trees tossed by the torrent of a flash flood. If they bend, they're saved, and every twig survives. But if they stiffen up, they're washed out from the roots. So ease off, relax, stop being angry, make a change. I know I'm younger, but I may still have good ideas. It's good to learn from anyone who speaks well.
Sir, you should learn from him. If he is on his mark. You, Haman, learn from your father. Both sides spoke well.
Do you really think at our age we should be taught by a boy like him?
No, not if I'm in the wrong. I admit I'm young. That's why you should look at what I do, not my age.
So, what you do is show respect for breaking ranks?
I'd never urge you to show respect for a criminal.
You don't think this girl's been infected with crime?
No, the people of Thebes deny it, all of them.
Do you think the people should tell me what orders to give?
Now who's talking like he's wet behind the ears?
So I should rule this country for someone other than myself?
A place for one man alone is not a city.
A city belongs to its master. Isn't that the rule?
Then go be ruler of a desert, all alone. You do it well.
Turns out the boy is fighting for the woman's cause.
Only if you are a woman. All I care about is you.
This is intolerable. You are accusing your own father.
Because I see you going wrong, because justice matters.
Is that wrong? Showing respect for my job as a leader?
You'll have no respect at all if you trample on the rights of the gods.
What a sick mind you have. You submit to a woman.
No, you'll never catch me giving in to what's dishonorable.
But everything you say, at least, is on her side.
And on your side. And mine. And the gods below.
There's no way you'll marry her, not while she's still alive.
And she'll die. And her death will destroy someone else.
Is that a threat? Are you brash enough to attack me?
What threat? All I'm saying is you haven't thought this through.
I'll make you wish you never had a thought in that empty head.
If you weren't my father, I'd say you were out of your mind.
Don't beat around the bush. You are a woman's toy, a slave.
Talk, talk, talk! Why don't you ever want to listen?
Bring out the hated thing. I want her to die right here, right now, so her bridegroom can watch the whole thing.
Not me. Never. No matter what you think, she is not going to die while I am near her. And you will never, ever see my face again. Go on, rage. Perhaps some of your friends will stay by you.
He is swift to anger. Pain lies heavily on a youthful mind.
Let him go. Him and his lofty ambitions. Good riddance. But those two girls shall not escape their fate.
Are you really planning to kill both of them?
Not the one who didn't touch the crime, you're right.
By what means will you have the other one killed?
I'll take her off the beaten track when no one's around, and I'll bury her alive, underground, in a grave of stone, but I'll only leave her as much food as religious law prescribes, so the city will not be cursed for homicide. Let her pray to Hades down there. He's the only god that she respects. Perhaps she'll arrange for him to save her life. Maybe she'll realize at last that she's wasting her time showing respect for whatever's in Hades.
In battle the victory goes to love, prizes and properties fall to love. Love dallies the night on a girl's soft cheeks, rages across the sea, lodges in wild meadows. Oh love, no one can hide from you. You take God to live forever. You take humans who die in a day, and they take you and go mad. Destroyer love, you seize a good mind and pervert it to wickedness. This fight is your doing, this uproar in the family, and the winner will be desire, shining in the eyes of a bride, an invitation to bed, a power to sweep across the bounds of what is right, for we are only toys in your hands. Divine, unbeatable Aphrodite. Divine, unbeatable Aphrodite. Divine, unbeatable Aphrodite.
Now I too am swept away, out of bounds when I see this. I cannot contain the surge of tears. For now I see Antigone, soon to gain the marriage bed where everyone must sleep.
See how I walk the last road, you who belong to my city. How I fill my eyes with the last shining of the sun. There is no return. I follow death alive to the brink of Acheron, where he gives rest to all. No marriage hymns for me. No one sounds a wedding march. I will be the bride of Acheron.
But won't you have hymns of praise? So much glory attends you as you pass into the deep place of the dead. For you are not wasted by disease, not maimed by a sword, but, true to your own laws, you are the only one of mortals who will go down to Hades while still alive.
No, I heard Niobe was lost in utmost misery, daughter of Tantalus, visitor in Thebes, wasted on a Phrygian mountain. Rocks sprouted up around her, firm, erect as shoots of ivy, and it subdued her, so men say. Rain and snow pelted her without a break, and she melted away. From her mournful brows, tears streaming down her flanks. It is the same for me exactly. Something divine lays me to sleep.
Really? Niobe was a god. She had a god for a father. We are mortal, and our fathers pass away. But you, when you die, you will be great. You will be equal in memory to the gods by the glory of your life and death.
You're laughing at me. Why now? You could have waited till I was gone, but now you make insults to my face, grasping rich old fools. What a city you have. I call upon the rising rivers of Thebes, and on the great chariot reaches of the plains. The rivers and the plains are on my side at least. They'll testify that no friends wept for me, that the laws of Thebes sent me to prison in a rock-hollow tomb. They see how unusual and cruel this is. But I have no place among human beings, living or dead. No city is home to me.
You've gone too far. You're extreme, impetuous. My child, you caught your foot and fell when you tried to climb against high justice. This is your father's legacy, pain and punishment.
Now you raise the agony that hurts my mind the most. Grief for my father, like raw earth plowed 3 times. Grief for the whole huge disaster of us, our brilliant family, Labdacus descendants. I weep for the ruin in my mother's bed, the sexual intercourse and incest my father had with our mother. Ill-fated parents make a miserable child. I am going to them now, unwept and unmarried, to lodge with them. Oh, my brother, your death snuffed out my life.
You have one kind of reverence, but a man whose job it is to rule will never let you trample on his power. You chose anger, and anger destroyed you.
No tears for me. No friends, no wedding hymns. They are taking me away in misery by the road before me, now and forever forbidden to see this blessed eye of light. No friends cry for me. No one is mourning.
Take her away immediately. And when she's locked up in the embrace of her covered tomb, exactly as I said, leave her alone. Desert it. Let her die if she wants, or else live in her grave if she feels at home there. We wash our hands of this girl, but either way, her permit to reside above the earth is cancelled.
My tomb, my marriage, my hollow, scraped in dirt. I am coming home forever, to be held in with my own people, most of them dead now and gone where Persephone welcomes them. I am the last of them to go under, and my death, it is by far the worst, so much before my time. As I leave, even so, I feed this one strong hope, that I will have a loving welcome from my father, more love from you, my mother, and then love from you, dear heart, my brother. When you died, I took you up all 3 and laid you out and poured libations at your graves. And Polynices, look, this is my reward for taking care of you. I was right, but wisdom knows I would not do it for a child were I a mother, not for a husband either. Let them lie putrefied dead. I would not defy the city at such a cost for their sake. What law can I claim on my side for this choice? I may have another husband if the first should die, and get a child from a new man if I am a widow. But my mother and my father lie in the land of death, and there is no ground to grow a brother for me now. That is the law I followed when I made you first in honor, even though Creon thinks I did a terrible thing, A rash and sinful crime, dear heart, my brother. Now he has taken me by force. He is driving me down unmarried. I've had no man, no wedding celebration, shared nothing with a husband, never raised a child. My friends and family have abandoned me in misery, and I am going alive to the scraped hollows of the dead. What have I ever done against divine justice? How can I expect a God to help me in my misery? To whom should I pray now? Do you see? They are counting all my reverence to be irreverence. If the gods really agree with this, then suffering should teach me to repent my sin. But if the sin belongs to those who have condemned me, I hope they suffer every bit as I do now.
Still, she is tossed by gusts of wind. They tear through her soul as strongly as before.
I have no hope to give. The death sentence stands.
City of my fathers, Thebes, gods of my people, they are taking me against my will. Look at me! Oh, you people of Thebes! I am the last remnant of kings. Look at what these wretched people are doing to me for my pure reverence.
People of Thebes!
My old Tiresias, what brings you here?
I will speak. I am the soothsayer, and you will learn.
Well, I never have rejected your advice.
Know this. Once again, your fate stands on a knife edge.
What is it? Your voice puts my hair on end.
See, listen to what I have read from the signs of my art. I took my seat, the ancient seat for seeing omens, where all the birds that tell the future come to rest. Hear the voice I've never known from a bird. Wild screeching, enraged, utterly meaningless. But the thrashing of their wings told me the truth. They were clawing each other to death with their talons. I was frightened immediately. I tried burnt sacrifice. The altar had been blazing high, but not one spark caught fire in my offerings. The others went out. Juice was oozing and dripping from thigh bones, spitting and sputtering in clouds of smoke. Bladders burst open, spraying bile into the sky. Wrappings of fat fell away from soggy bones. So the ritual failed. I had no omens to read. Now it was your idea that brought this plague down on our city. Every single altar, every hearth we have is glutted with dead meat from Oedipus' child, who died so badly. Birds and dogs gnawed him to bits. That is why the gods no longer hear our prayers, reject our sacrifices of flaming thigh bones, and that is why the birds keep back their shrill message-bearing cries. Because they have fed on a dead man's glistening blood. Take thought, my son, on all of these things. It's common knowledge any human being can go wrong, but even when he does, a man may still succeed. He may have his share of luck and good advice, but only if he's willing to bend and find a cure for the trouble he's caused. It's only being stubborn proves you're a fool. So now surrender to the dead man. Stop stabbing away at his corpse. Will it prove your strength if you kill him again? Listen. My advice is for your benefit. Learning from good words is sweet when they bring you gain.
I hear you, old man. You people keep shooting your arrows at me like marksmen at a target. Do you think I don't know? I have a lot of experience with soothsayers. Your whole tribe has made market of me from the start. If you want profit, speculate in gold from India. You'll never put that man down in a grave, not even if eagles snatch morsels of his dead flesh and carry them up to the very throne of Zeus. I won't shrink from that. And don't you call it pollution, or tell me I have to bury him to fend off my asthma. Surely no human power could pollute a god. You're terribly clever, old man, but listen to me. Clever people tend to stumble into shameful traps when they make a wicked speech sound good for their personal gain.
This is very sad. Does any human being know or even question
What's this? More of your great common knowledge?
How powerful good judgment is compared to wealth.
Exactly. And no harm compares with heedlessness.
Which runs through you like the plague.
I have no desire to trade insults with a soothsayer.
But you're doing it. You implied I make false prophecies.
Prophecies? All your tribe wants to make is money.
And what about tyrants? Filthy lucre is all you want.
Remember, you are speaking about your commander-in-chief.
I haven't forgotten it was by my powers you saved the city.
Cunning soothsayer, yes. But you'd rather do what's wrong.
You are provoking me! I have a secret we have not touched.
Well, touch it then. But don't speak as you've been paid to do.
Do you really think that's why I've spoken out?
You'll never collect your fee. I'm not changing my mind.
So be it. But you must know this and know it well. You will hardly see the sun race around its course before you make the trade with your own boy's corpse. Your only child born from your guts traded for corpses. You took one who dwells above and tossed her below. You rejected a living soul and peopled a tomb with her. And you took one that belongs down there and kept him here, untouched by gods, unburied, unholy, a corpse exposed. The dead are no business of yours. Not even the gods above own any part of them. You have committed violence against them. For this, an ambush awaits you. Slow, crippling avengers, fury sent by Hades and the gods above. You will be tangled in the net of your own crimes. And look carefully. Have I been paid to speak out? No. Passage of a little time will prove the point. Men and women will be wailing over death in your family, and the cities of our enemies are in a rage for their dead, whose funeral rites were held by dogs, or wild beasts or vultures, and for the stench of bodies carried by birds to defile their hearths at home. These are my arrows. You stung me, and I let fly in my anger, like a marksman aiming for your heart. I never miss. You can't outrun the pain. May you learn to cultivate a gentler tongue and a mind more cogent than you've shown today.
His prophecies were amazing. Terrible. I'm quite certain he has never sung a prophecy, not once, that turned out to be false for the city.
I know that too. My mind is shaken. Giving in would be terrible, but standing firm invites disaster.
Good judgment is essential, Creon. Take advice.
What should I do? Show me. I'll do what you say.
Let the girl go. Free her from the underground and build a tomb for the boy who lies exposed.
Really? You think I should give in?
As quickly as you can, sir, before you're cut off. The gods send harm racing after wicked fools.
So painful to pull back. It goes against my heart. But I cannot fight against necessity.
Go and do this now. Don't send others in your place.
I'll go immediately. Come on, everyone, wherever you are, grab a pick and shovel. Hurry up. Get over to the place you see. It's up to me. Now my mind is changed. I put her away. I must be there to release her. I'm afraid it's best to obey the laws just as tradition has them, all one's life.
God of many names,
glorious child of Thebes,
whose mother was bride to Zeus's deep thunder.
It is you who guard the fame of Italy.
You who look after the embrace at Eleusis of Demeter, all-welcoming goddess.
O Bacchus, your home is Thebes.
Thebes, the mother of Maenads.
Where river Ismenes gently flows and the fierce dragon teeth were planted.
Torches flash through smoke, catch sight of you at Delphi, high above the twin-peaked crag.
The Castalian stream has seen you by nymphs of the cave who dance for Bacchus.
The Nicean mountains know you too, the ivy-covered shores, the coasts, the green tangles of grapevines.
They are sending you to Thebes. Watch over us. Hear our sacred hymns that sound for you.
You hold Thebes in honor above all cities. Your mother too, thunderstruck woman, and now we pray, watch over us. The violence of plague strikes all our people. Come, your presence is healing. Soar above Parnassus, or across the holy straits of the sea. O leader in the dance of stars that circle across the night, bringing fire. O shepherd of dark voices, child of Zeus, let us see you now. Come, O Lord, with your throng of Maenads. Aeacus, steward of joy, grant them ecstasy to dance all night for you, 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 to dance all night for you.
Listen, all you neighbors of Cadmus' family. Soothsayers give no guarantees for human lives. This Creon, you know I used to envy him. He saved the land of Cadmus from its enemies and took command as the only ruler of this ground. He set us straight and he set his house abloom with well-born sons. Now all of that is gone. When every source of joy deserts a man, I do not call him alive. He is an animated corpse.
What's this new grief that weighs on the king's family?
Death and the living are to blame for it.
Who's the killer? Who's the victim? Speak up!
Haman is dead, killed by his own flesh and blood.
What? His father? Some other relative?
He killed himself in a rage with his father for her death.
That soothsayer. They had it right.
Those are the facts. The judgment is up to you.
Wait, I see her coming. Creon's wife. Poor Eurydice. Has she left her home by chance? Or has she heard about her son?
Tell me, people of the city, I caught what you said as I was about to leave the house to pray for help to the goddess Athena. I was just sliding the bolt to unlock the door when word of disaster in the family struck my ears. I fell back into my servant's arms, terrified out of my mind. Please, tell me again what happened. Speak freely. I am quite used to hearing bad news.
I will, beloved queen. I was there and I saw everything. The whole truth. No point taking off the rough edges. You'd soon find out I was lying. Truth's right. Always. Well, I went with your husband as his guide to the upper field where the body was lying. What was left of Polynices, cruel, torn by dogs. First, we prayed to the goddess of passageways. Pluto also, and we begged that their goodwill attend us. Then we performed the sacred cleansing of the corpse. Gathered up the pieces we could find, burnt them over fresh-cut boughs, and heaped the earth into a tomb. A high-crested home for him. Then we went for the girl toward her deadly marriage bed, blanketed with rocks.
There was a voice. You could hear it from far off. It sliced through you, wailing around that unsanctified tomb. One of us got Creon to listen. He crept forward, cries of misery welled up around him, wordless without meaning. Suddenly he let out a groan of utter despair. Oh no. Now I am reading signs. Could this be the path? The one that leads me to the worst disaster of my life? My son. My son's voice. Neighbors, be quick, please help. On that tomb, look, that rock in the mound, stones ripped out. Can you slip in through those jaws? Tell me if I am right, that it is Haman, unless the gods have robbed me of my mind. That was the order our master gave. His courage gone. We looked. In the last depth of the tomb, she was there. We saw her hanging by the neck on a noose sheet twisted from her own fine clothes. He was there too, tumbled around her, hugging her waist, grieving for his marriage lost, gone under, his father's doing, as he in misery kissed his bride. When Creon saw them, he came up to them, and he gave a horrible cry. Poor soul, he said. How could you do this? What were you thinking? Had you lost your mind? Oh, my child, please come out. I beg you on my knees. The boy did not answer. His eyes were fierce. He fixed them on his father, then spat in his face and drew his two-edged sword. The father darted back, dodged the blow. Thwarted, the angry boy turned against himself. He took his blade and leaned on it, drove it half through his lungs. Then, still conscious, he pulled the girl into the curve of his sagging embrace. He gasped and panted, spattered blood on her white cheek, a spurt of scarlet. Then he was dead. His body lay with hers. They had brought their marriage off at last in the house of death. Which proves the point. In a human life, it is deadly for bad judgment to embrace a man.
What could it mean? The woman's gone inside. She didn't say a word, good or bad.
I'm astonished like you, but I feed on hope. Probably when she heard her son was dead, she chose to mourn indoors rather than make a public display of grief. She'll have her servants join in the lament. She's always planned ahead to avoid mistakes.
I don't know. If you ask me, a silence so extreme is just as dangerous as a silly flood of tears.
I'm going into the house. You may be right. Silence when extreme is dangerous.
Now here is the king himself. He carries in his arms a reminder, I hope I'm right to be blunt, pointing clearly to the madness that destroys, and it's no one else's but his own. The sin was his.
Oh, out for the sins of stubborn mind, evil-minded, death-dealing. Oh, you who are witnesses, saw those who killed and those who died, all in one's family. Cry out against the sacrilege I called strategy. Oh, my son, my young son, your young death. Ah! You were expelled from life by my bad judgment, never yours. Some god put full force into my head, steered me onto a wild path, shaking my reins. I have trampled joy with shovels. Weep for the pain of human pain.
You have so many troubles, master, troubles in hand. You carry them yourself and troubles at home. You'll see for yourself soon enough when you arrive.
After this could be worse.
Your wife is dead. Poor woman. Fresh killed. A mother to match this dead boy.
Ow. Ow. Ah! Death! Refuge that cannot be appeased. Why me? Why me, destroyer? What could be worse? Does fate have more for me? A moment ago, I took my dead son in my arms. Oh, weep for the mother in torment. Weep for the child.
She died at the altar. A sharp sword thrust brought darkness to her eyes as soon as she heard what horrors overcame her boy. But first she grieved for Haman. Last of all, she called out to you. These are your crimes, child killer!
The grief is mine. All mine. I'll never pin the blame on anyone else that's human. I was the one. I killed you, my child. I did it. It's all true. Oh, my neighbors, please take me away. Take me quickly. I must not be underfoot. I am worth less than a nobody.
A reasonable request. If there's any value in suffering. The shortest way is strongest way when trouble's afoot.
Let it come. Let it come. I look for the light of my last day. My ultimate fate. Oh, let it come. I never want to face another day.
That lies in the future. Our duty is for the present. Leave your death to the ones whose concern it is.
That's what I longed for. I prayed for that.
Then don't pray at all. A mortal has no escape from fate.
Please, take this useless man and put him out of your way. He killed you, my child. Well, that is not what he wished. And you too, my wife. What a miserable wretch I am, never to see them again. On whom can I lean? Everything I touch turns against me. My head bows to the fate that has leapt on it.
Wisdom is supreme for a blessed life, and reverence for the gods must never cease. Great words, sprung from arrogance, are punished by great blows. So it is one learns, in old age, to be wise.